Welcome to Starbound, where every star tells a story. What happens when humans are the only species able to survive on a hostile planet and finally get to show their ingenuity to the galaxy? Let's get into the story. Captain Amelia Sato gripped the command console, her knuckles white against the cool metal. The Odyssey, humanity's most advanced deep space vessel, hummed with anticipation. Before them, a celestial body shimmered on the main view screen, a vibrant blue orb shrouded in a pulsating crimson veil. This was Cradle, a newly discovered planet, a potential treasure trove of resources tucked away in a remote corner of the Milky Way. However, Cradle wasn't open for business just yet. As the Odyssey crept closer, Amelia watched with a practiced eye as several alien vessels, sleek and menacing, approached the planet. All met the same fate. They were flung back with a burst of crimson energy, their hulls shimmering before disappearing into the void. "Captain," announced Dr. Kai Tanaka, his voice a mix of excitement and concern, "those energy readings are unlike anything we've encountered before. A potent form of radiation seems to be emanating from the planet's core, forming a barrier." Kai, the ship's xenobiologist, was a bundle of nervous energy whenever faced with the unknown. Amelia, on the other hand, preferred a more cautious approach. "Intriguing," she said, her voice betraying no emotion. "Scan for weaknesses but remain at a safe distance." Dr. Evelyn Walsh, their resident engineer and resident problem solver, chimed in, "Anything we can use to analyze the energy signature." Amelia nodded. "Full spectrum analysis. We need to understand what we're dealing with before we even consider entry." The Odyssey danced at the edge of the crimson barrier, its advanced shielding systems humming as they absorbed the stray radiation. The tension in the control room was thick enough to cut with a knife. Suddenly, a wave of information flooded Amelia's mind, a telepathic intrusion unlike anything she'd ever experienced. Images of diverse alien beings, of desperation and hope, flickered before her eyes. "Captain, we're receiving a message," Kai gasped, his voice tight. "Telepathic. It's a plea for assistance." The telepathic message resonated within the minds of everyone aboard the Odyssey. It wasn't a single voice, but a chorus, a tapestry woven from countless thoughts and emotions. Images flooded Amelia's consciousness, vast alien cities, gleaming spacecraft, and a desperate plea for help emanating from a swirling vortex of energy, the very energy field that repelled any attempt to breach Cradle's atmosphere. "They're a council," Kai said, his voice a mere whisper. "Multiple species, a collective consciousness." Amelia felt a surge of curiosity war with apprehension. Telepathy was a rare phenomenon even among humans, and encountering an entire council who communicated this way was unprecedented. She steeled herself. "Can you decipher their message?" Kai furrowed his brow, concentrating. "It's fragmented. They call the planet the Burning Pearl. They say it holds great resources, but its defenses are impenetrable to their technology. They're desperate for our assistance." "Us?" Evelyn scoffed, ever the pragmatist. "Why us? There are dozens of ships out there, probably with more advanced tech." A sense of unease settled in Amelia's gut. The Council hadn't contacted any other vessel, only theirs. Why? The answer came in a series of emotions: fear, respect, and a flicker of something akin to awe. The images showed humans, their bipedal form, their resilience. Perhaps the message implied humans were different. "Captain," Kai interjected, "they're offering a proposition. Access to their technology in exchange for our help in reaching the Burning Pearl." Amelia pondered this. Alien technology was always a tempting offer. But the way the Council spoke of Cradle, the desperation in their message hinted at a greater purpose. "Do they explain what's on the planet?" "Not yet," Kai admitted. "Their communication is fragmented. We need to establish a proper link." A decision had to be made. Reaching out to an unknown alien collective was a risk, but the potential rewards were significant. Amelia glanced at her crew, their faces etched with anticipation and a hint of fear. These were the best, the most capable explorers humanity had to offer. "All right," she announced, her voice firm. "Prepare for docking procedures. We'll establish communication and see what this council has to offer." The Odyssey approached a colossal vessel, a behemoth unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. It was a marvel of engineering, a conglomeration of various architectures, each section seemingly representing a different species. Docking procedures were complex, requiring a delicate dance of technology and diplomacy. Once docked, the crew donned their specialized biosuits, a necessity for interacting with alien species whose biology might be incompatible with Earth's atmosphere. As they exited the airlock, they were greeted by a sight that would forever be etched in their memories. The docking bay bustled with activity. Alien beings of all shapes and sizes converged, their forms defying any earthly classification. Some were bipedal, towering over Amelia with smooth, iridescent skin. Others resembled insectoid creatures, their multifaceted eyes gleaming with an unsettling intelligence. A group of avian beings, their feathers shimmering with vibrant hues, watched with detached curiosity. Leading the welcoming party was Eldrin, a being radiating an aura of wisdom and stoicism. His form was vaguely humanoid, his skin a pale blue and his head adorned with intricate tattoos that seemed to pulse with a faint light. He projected a series of images and emotions, a gesture of welcome and introduction. Kai, acting as the ship's telepathic bridge, translated. "Greetings, humans." Eldrin's voice resonated within their minds, a deep, sonorous rumble. "We are the Council of Concord, the guardians of this sector of the galaxy." Behind him stood Corvus, a stark contrast to Eldrin. His features were sharp and angular, his eyes burning with a predatory glint. He exuded an air of arrogance and impatience. "They call themselves the Council of Concord," Kai whispered, "but there seems to be some tension between them." Eldrin, sensing Amelia's curiosity, addressed it directly. "We represent diverse species, each with their interests. Some, like myself and my people, the Eldarians, value diplomacy and cooperation. Others, like Corvus and the Corvanians, have a more forceful approach." He gestured towards the Burning Pearl, a holographic image shimmering in the air. The Burning Pearl, as we call it, is a planet of immense potential. It holds resources vital to the well-being of many species in our council. Unfortunately, its defenses are beyond our current technology. His gaze held Amelia's. "We have observed your vessels. Your unique biology allows you to withstand environments others cannot. That is why we seek your assistance." Amelia absorbed Eldrin's words, her mind racing. This was a delicate situation. The Council's desperation was evident, as was the potential for conflict brewing between its members. Corvus, with his sharp features and aggressive stance, radiated a sense of entitlement, a threat waiting to be unleashed. "Why not the other ships out there?" she finally asked, voicing Evelyn's earlier question. "We weren't the only ones attempting to enter the Burning Pearl's atmosphere." Eldrin's emotions flickered with a mix of sadness and respect. "We have observed your kind for some time. You are known for your adaptability, your resilience. We believe you possess the capability to overcome the Burning Pearl's defenses." His gaze shifted towards Corvus, who seemed to bristle under the scrutiny. "Others," Eldrin continued, "rely more on brute force, a path that may lead to ecological devastation of the planet." Amelia glanced at Kai, who confirmed her suspicions. "He's worried about the Corvanians trying to break through the energy field. They might end up destroying the planet in the process." The weight of the decision pressed down on Amelia. This wasn't just about accessing a resource-rich planet. It was about protecting an entire ecosystem. But what could they offer in return? Alien technology was a tempting proposition, but the risks of such an exchange were significant. "Let's discuss the terms of this assistance," she said, her voice firm but respectful. "What kind of technology are we talking about, and what guarantees do we have of your good intentions?" Eldrin gestured towards a nearby chamber, its entrance shimmering with an inviting light. "Let us discuss this further in private. We can offer you access to advancements in fields you wouldn't believe possible. As for our intentions, the well-being of the Burning Pearl and its resources are paramount to us all." Amelia exchanged a look with Evelyn and Kai. This was uncharted territory. Trusting an unknown alien council was a gamble, but the potential rewards were too great to ignore. Besides, refusing their offer might only push the Corvanians towards more drastic measures. With a deep breath, Amelia nodded. "Very well. Let's see what kind of a deal we can make." As they followed Eldrin into the chamber, Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a much larger adventure. The Burning Pearl held more secrets than anyone could have imagined, and humanity, with its unique strengths and vulnerabilities, was caught right in the middle. The chamber Eldrin led them into was a marvel of alien architecture. Walls pulsed with a soft bioluminescence, holographic displays shimmered with complex data streams, and the air thrummed with an unseen energy. Amelia, Kai, and Evelyn found themselves seated on what appeared to be comfortable organic pods, their biosuit helmets translating the alien atmosphere into something breathable. Eldrin projected a series of images, showcasing advancements in energy generation, propulsion systems that defied the laws of physics as Amelia knew them, and medical technology that pushed the boundaries of cellular repair. Each image was accompanied by a surge of pride and excitement emanating from Eldrin's mind. "These are just a few examples." Eldrin's voice resonated within their heads. "Our technology can benefit your civilization in ways you cannot imagine." Amelia, ever the pragmatist, cut through his enthusiasm. "Impressive. But what do you need from us in return?" Eldrin's emotions shifted, a flicker of sadness replacing the pride. "We need you to reach the Burning Pearl's surface. Our technology cannot withstand the radiation field. Yours, from what we've observed, appears to be more resilient." He spoke of the planet with a reverence that surprised Amelia. "The Burning Pearl is not just a repository of resources. It is a place of immense power, a cradle of ancient knowledge. We believe it holds the key to unlocking the secrets of our own origins." Kai, his curiosity bubbling over, interjected, "Ancient knowledge? Any specifics?" Eldrin's reply was cryptic. "Images, fragments of a long-lost civilization. They speak of a power source unlike anything we've ever encountered, one that could potentially solve our energy crisis for millennia." Amelia pondered this. Energy, that was the driving force behind galactic exploration. A secure, sustainable source of energy could tip the scales of power in the galaxy. The Corvanians, with their aggressive tendencies, would surely stop at nothing to get their hands on such technology. "All right," she finally said, her voice carrying the weight of her decision. "We'll consider your offer, but before we agree to anything, we need to see the Burning Pearl for ourselves." Eldrin's emotions brightened once more. "Of course, an exploration mission is perfectly acceptable. We can even provide you with a guide, someone familiar with the planet's peculiarities." A holographic image flickered to life, depicting a being unlike anything Amelia had ever seen. It was humanoid in form, but its skin was a vibrant green, its eyes glowed with an eerie luminescence, and its head was adorned with elaborate feathery appendages. This apparently was their guide. A wave of unease washed over Amelia. This was all happening too quickly, but the allure of the unknown, the potential for groundbreaking discoveries, and the responsibility to protect the Burning Pearl from Corvanian greed were forces too powerful to ignore. With a deep breath, Amelia nodded. "All right, Eldrin. Let's see what the Burning Pearl has in store for us." The Odyssey, dwarfed by the colossal council vessel, detached from the docking bay. Aboard the bridge, a tense silence hung heavy in the air. Amelia gripped the command console, her mind replaying the events of the past few hours. The Council's offer, the Corvanian threat, the prospect of exploring an unknown planet. It was all a heady mix of excitement and apprehension. "Captain," Kai spoke, his voice barely above a whisper, "are we really doing this? Trusting aliens with a guide that looks like it crawled out of a nightmare?" Amelia chuckled, a dry humor breaking the tension. "Apparently that's what exploration is all about, Kai. Taking risks, venturing into the unknown." She turned to Evelyn, who was busy configuring the Odyssey systems for a planetary descent. "How's everything looking, Ev?" Evelyn, her brow furrowed in concentration, tapped away at her console. "The radiation readings from the Burning Pearl are intense. Even with our shielding, we'll have a limited window for exploration." "Limited?" Kai echoed, his voice tight. "How limited?" "We're talking hours, maybe less," Evelyn replied, her gaze fixed on the holographic display. "The shielding can only take so much before it starts to overload." Amelia nodded, a grim acceptance settling in. This was a daring mission, a race against time, Suddenly, a shimmering portal materialized beside the Odyssey, emanating from the Council vessel. A figure emerged, its green skin and feathery appendages just as unsettling up close as they were in the holographic image. "Greetings, humans," the being projected in a voice that sounded like rustling leaves. "I am Zelia, your guide on the Burning Pearl." Kai, unable to hold back his apprehension, blurted out, "Is there a reason you look like that?" Zelia's eyes, glowing orbs within the darkness of her feathery headpiece, blinked once. "My appearance is a natural adaptation to the Burning Pearl's environment. It allows me to withstand the radiation levels that would be detrimental to your species." Amelia, ever the diplomat, stepped in. "Welcome aboard, Zelia. We appreciate your assistance." Zelia gave a curt nod, her emotions betraying a hint of amusement at Kai's earlier outburst. Together, they charted a course towards the Burning Pearl, its vibrant blue surface now marred by the swirling crimson barrier that repelled any attempt at entry. As they neared the planet, the energy readings spiked, the whine of the Odyssey's shielding growing louder. A sense of urgency filled the bridge. They had a limited time to explore and gather information before they were forced to retreat. "Brace yourselves," Amelia announced, her voice steady. "We're entering the Burning Pearl's atmosphere." The Odyssey plunged through the crimson veil, the energy signature washing over the vessel like a physical force. The whine of the shielding reached a fever pitch, a constant reminder of the unforgiving environment they were entering. Amelia gripped the console, her knuckles white as the instruments flickered wildly. "Shielding holding steady, Captain," Evelyn reported, her voice tight with concentration. "But for how long?" Amelia didn't answer. Her gaze was fixed on the view screen, a panoramic view of the Burning Pearl coming into focus. Unlike the vibrant blue from space, the planet's surface was bathed in a permanent crimson glow, emanating from the energy field that protected it. Despite the harsh light, the planet teemed with life. Lush vegetation, a vibrant red-orange in color, carpeted the landscape. Strange, bioluminescent creatures flitted through the air, their wings casting an ethereal glow. It was a bizarre yet beautiful world, a testament to evolution's ability to adapt to even the most challenging environments. "Incredible," Kai breathed, his voice filled with awe. "Look at those creatures. They seem to thrive on this radiation." Zelia, her green skin shimmering faintly under the crimson light, projected a series of images. "Indeed, the Burning Pearl's flora and fauna have adapted to the radiation, using it as an energy source." Amelia pointed towards a cluster of towering crystalline structures that glinted in the distance. "What are those?" "Ruins," Zelia replied. "Remnants of an ancient civilization that thrived on the Burning Pearl millennia ago. They were the ones who harnessed the planet's energy field as a power source." A surge of excitement coursed through Amelia. Ancient ruins? A lost civilization? This was far more than just a resource-rich planet. The Burning Pearl held secrets, waiting to be unraveled. Suddenly, a shrill alarm blared, red lights flashing across the bridge. "Captain! Shielding integrity dropping rapidly," Evelyn shouted, her voice laced with urgency. "Time to go," Amelia announced, her voice firm despite the growing panic in her gut. "We've got what we came for now. Let's get out of here." With a heavy heart, Amelia initiated the ascent procedure. The crimson veil loomed large on the view screen, a reminder of the wonders they were forced to leave behind. As the Odyssey pierced through the energy field, the whine of the shielding subsided, replaced by a relieved sigh from the crew. Back in the safety of space, Amelia slumped in her chair, the adrenaline slowly draining from her system. They had a lot to process: the wonders of the Burning Pearl, the ancient ruins, and the potential threat posed by the Corvanians. "We need to analyze everything we gathered," Kai said, his eyes burning with scientific curiosity. "Those ruins, the flora, everything could be a key to unlocking the Burning Pearl's secrets." Amelia nodded. "And we need to inform the Council about the Corvanians. They won't hesitate to exploit the Burning Pearl for their own gain." A new challenge lay ahead. They had just scratched the surface of the Burning Pearl's mysteries, and the potential conflict with the Corvanians loomed large. But one thing was certain: humanity, with its unique strengths and unyielding curiosity, was now firmly at the center of a galactic mystery. Back on the Odyssey, the crew wasted no time delving into the data and samples they had collected from the Burning Pearl. Kai, practically vibrating with excitement, spent hours analyzing the bioluminescent flora that thrived on the planet's radiation. "Captain," he announced, his voice laced with a sense of discovery, "these plants are unlike anything we've ever seen. They seem to absorb the radiation and convert it into a usable energy source. Imagine the implications for our own energy production." Evelyn, ever the pragmatist, interjected, "Fascinating, but how can we utilize this technology? Replicating it here on Earth might be impossible." "Not necessarily," Kai countered, his enthusiasm undimmed. "These plants might hold the key to developing new shielding materials, ones that could withstand even harsher environments." Amelia listened intently as Kai and Evelyn debated the scientific possibilities. The Burning Pearl's flora was a revelation, but the ancient ruins were the real draw. Images of towering crystalline structures and intricate carvings hinted at a long-lost civilization with advanced technology. Deciphering the carvings was another challenge. Zelia, their guide, offered limited assistance. The language was ancient, even to her kind, but with the combined efforts of Amelia's leadership, Kai's scientific expertise, and a team of crypto-linguists back on Earth, they began to piece together fragments of the past. The ruins, they discovered, belonged to the Zoshan people, a race that had harnessed the Burning Pearl's energy field to achieve a level of technological advancement far exceeding anything the current Galactic Council possessed. However, the information regarding the source of the energy field and the ultimate fate of the Zoshans remained shrouded in mystery. Meanwhile, Amelia maintained communication with the Council. She relayed the information about the Corvanians' aggressive intentions and the potential dangers of exploiting the Burning Pearl's resources without proper understanding. Eldrin, ever the diplomat, expressed concern but offered little in the way of concrete action. Corvus, on the other hand, remained a looming threat, his messages laced with veiled threats and demands for immediate access to the planet. As days turned into weeks, a sense of unease settled over the crew of the Odyssey. They were caught in a precarious situation, protectors of a planet and its secrets, while facing the potential wrath of a militaristic empire. They needed a solution, a way to deter the Corvanians and ensure the Burning Pearl remained safe. One evening, as Amelia pondered this dilemma, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source: Zelia. The rhythmic hum of the Odyssey lulled Amelia into a restless sleep. Dreams of crimson landscapes and towering crystalline structures flickered in her mind. Suddenly, she was jolted awake by a gentle yet insistent touch on her shoulder. "Captain," Xylia's voice projected softly, devoid of its usual telepathic echo, "there is something I must show you." Intrigued, Amelia followed Zelia to a secluded corner of the bridge. The alien guide, uncharacteristic of her usual stoicism, seemed to vibrate with an urgency she hadn't observed before. "What is it, Xylia?" Amelia asked, her voice hushed. Zelia paused, her feathery appendages twitching nervously. "There is more to the Zoshan story than we have deciphered," she finally admitted. "Their power source, the energy field that protects the Burning Pearl, is not what it seems." "What do you mean?" Amelia pressed, her curiosity piqued. Zelia extended a slender appendage and touched a shimmering holographic projection of the Burning Pearl. A section of the planet's surface pulsed with an intensity that hadn't been present in the original data. "This," Xylia explained, her voice barely a whisper, "is the true source of the energy field. The Zoshans called it the Cradle's heart." Amelia stared at the holographic anomaly, a cold dread settling in her stomach. The Cradle's heart wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was something else entirely. But what? A weapon? An unstable energy core? The possibilities were terrifying. "Why didn't you tell us this before?" Amelia asked, her voice tight. Zelia's emotions swirled with a mixture of guilt and fear. "The knowledge of the Cradle's heart is forbidden amongst my people. It holds immense power, but it is also incredibly dangerous. The Zoshan's downfall may be linked to its instability." The weight of this revelation crushed Amelia. Not only were they facing Corvanian aggression, but the very planet they were protecting harbored a potential galactic threat. The Council, in their desperation for resources, had overlooked this crucial detail, or perhaps they were aware of it, and chose to remain silent. "What do we do now?" Kai's voice startled them, his eyes wide with a mix of curiosity and concern. He had apparently been drawn to their hushed conversation. Amelia explained the new information, her voice heavy with trepidation. Kai, usually brimming with scientific excitement, grew pale. The implications were chilling. The Cradle's heart could be the key to unlocking incredible power, but it could also be a ticking time bomb. Evelyn, ever the pragmatist, stepped forward. "We can't ignore this. We need to warn the Council, and maybe even the Corvanians, about the dangers of the Cradle's heart." "But can we trust them?" Amelia countered. "The Council might simply try to exploit the heart for their own gain, while the Corvanians—" She shuddered at the thought. A tense silence filled the bridge. The crew of the Odyssey, humanity's representatives in this far-flung corner of the galaxy, found themselves holding the fate of an entire planet, and possibly the entire galaxy, in their hands. They needed a plan, a way to navigate this complex situation and ensure the Cradle's heart remained under responsible control. Suddenly, Zelia's voice cut through the silence. "There may be another way, Captain. A way to render the Cradle's heart inert for a time, to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands." A flicker of hope ignited in Amelia's eyes. Could Xylia, with her knowledge of the Zosians and the Burning Pearl, offer a solution? Zelia's words stirred a glimmer of hope within the Odyssey's tense atmosphere. The alien guide elaborated, revealing an ancient Zosian failsafe mechanism, a way to temporarily deactivate the Cradle's heart. It was a complex operation, requiring access to specific areas within the ruins and the manipulation of alien technology they barely understood. Kai, trying to be optimistic, saw an opportunity. "This could be our leverage. We can offer to stabilize the Cradle's heart in exchange for the Council's help in deterring the Corvanians." Amelia, however, remained cautious. "The Council might not be happy with us keeping them in the dark about this, and how can we be sure Zelia's information is accurate?" Evelyn, the voice of reason, interjected. "We can verify it. We need to return to the Burning Pearl, gather more data on the Cradle's heart and the failsafe mechanism." A plan began to take shape. They would embark on a second, riskier mission to the Burning Pearl, gather the necessary information, and present the Council with a choice. Work together to stabilize the Cradle's heart or face the consequences of its potential destruction. The journey back to the Burning Pearl was fraught with tension. The Corvanians' messages grew increasingly aggressive, demanding access to the planet. Using the limited intel they had gathered, Amelia formulated a strategy. "We'll perform a recon mission," she announced, addressing her crew. "Kai and Zelia will head down to the ruins, gather data on the failsafe in the Cradle's heart. Evelyn and I will remain in orbit, monitoring the situation and keeping the Council informed." Kai, his scientific curiosity reignited, readily agreed. Zelia, however, voiced concerns. "The failsafe operation is delicate. If something goes wrong, the consequences could be catastrophic." Amelia acknowledged the risk. "We're gambling on a solution, Zelia. But if we fail to act, the Corvanians could exploit the Cradle's heart, leading to an even greater disaster." With a shared sense of purpose, Kai and Zelia donned their biosuits and disembarked on the landing pod. As they descended towards the crimson-hued planet, a message crackled through the comm system. A Corvanian warship had entered the Burning Pearl system. The gamble commenced. Meanwhile, Amelia watched the holographic image of the landing pod disappear into the planet's swirling atmosphere. The fate of the Burning Pearl, and potentially the entire galaxy, rested on the shoulders of her crew and the success of their daring mission. The clock was ticking, and the tension aboard the Odyssey reached a fever pitch. The tension on the bridge was palpable as Amelia gripped the command console. Every tick of the clock felt like an eternity. Finally, a crackle of static broke the silence, followed by Kai's voice, laced with a hint of exhilaration. "Captain, we found it. The failsafe mechanism. It's complex, but with Zelia's guidance, we might just be able to pull this off." Relief washed over Amelia, a bittersweet feeling considering the Corvanian threat loomed large. "Excellent work, team. Keep me updated. We need to buy you some time." Amelia sent a message to the Council, laying out the situation with brutal honesty. The Burning Pearl held an unstable energy core, the Cradle's heart, and they, humanity, possessed the means to temporarily deactivate it. However, the price for cooperation was clear. The Corvanians were not to be granted access to the planet. An agonizing silence followed. Just as Amelia considered initiating a preemptive evacuation of the ruins, a message arrived from Eldrin. The Council, understanding the gravity of the situation, agreed to their terms. They would dispatch a fleet to intercept the Corvanian warship, offering a diplomatic solution instead of a military confrontation. As news of the Council's intervention reached the Corvanian vessel, A tense standoff ensued. Negotiations stretched on for hours, but with the Cradle's heart hanging in the balance, neither side dared to escalate. Finally, a compromise was reached. The Corvanians would receive limited access to the Burning Pearl's resources, but under strict supervision from a joint Human Council task force. Meanwhile, back in the ruins, Kai and Zelia successfully activated the failsafe mechanism. A surge of energy resonated from the planet's core, momentarily dimming the crimson glow that bathed the Burning Pearl. The Cradle's heart was dormant, its immense power safely contained for the time being. The Odyssey, with a weary but triumphant crew, prepared for departure. The Burning Pearl, with its secrets and dangers, remained a mystery, but one that would be unraveled with caution and cooperation. As they left the planet behind, a sense of accomplishment mingled with a newfound understanding of the vast and complex tapestry of the galaxy. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, not with overwhelming force, but with courage, diplomacy, and a touch of ingenuity. The future, though uncertain, held the promise of exploration, collaboration, and perhaps even a solution to the enigma that was the Cradle's heart.